Good evening, everybody. As tonight the Giants lose a tough one to lose another tough game to the Dbacks 2-1. This is Giants Roundup. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and also please be subscribed. Excuse me, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. Another low scoring affair tonight for the Giants, and the D-backs pitching is for real this year. They are no joke, and Zach Godley was excellent on the mound tonight, going 7 innings strong, only allowed 4 hits, struck out 9, and now lowers his ERA to 0.64. And you have to feel bad for Derek Holland tonight. He actually had a really good start for the Giants tonight. His only hiccup was the first inning, and unfortunately, the Giants just could not give him the run support to bail him out tonight. And oh, not a good night for the Bats. And Brandon Belt gets the sombrero tonight, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. And it will be interesting to see if maybe we see Belts sit tomorrow and maybe we see Posey play first and see possibly Nick Hundley in the squat tomorrow. I think possibly we see Hundley in the squat tomorrow. That, that's a possibility. But Longoria, 0 for 3. His average is down to $1.25. Joe Panic went cold tonight, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Hunter Pence, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So there's certainly some. But the D-backs, 2 runs, 5 hits. Normally that usually is a win. But the D-backs are just a skosh better tonight. 1 run, 5 hits. And unfortunately, the killer was the first inning when Goldschmidt triples to deep right center to score Marte, and an AJ Pollock sacrifice to score Goldschmidt, and that ended up being the difference maker. And the Giants did get a run in the bottom of the 8th when Blanco grounded out to second when Crawford scored. And then McCutchen, when he got his hit, unfortunately, Buster Posey hit his baseball into the twilight zone, where it could have been a base running mistake, where you might have to tag back. But that ball was in the twilight zone, which unfortunately meant the Twilight Zone's victim was Andrew McCutchen at second. And yeah, I really think there was nothing McCutchen could really do in that situation. You would have to tag back or what. And that's usually a pop up that should have been caught anyways. It was just too shallow to advance the runners. So that was more tough luck than anything else. But Derek Holland definitely gave the bullpen a rest tonight. Valiant effort out of him. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Normally that gets you the win, but not tonight, unfortunately. And what's worse is Derek Holland takes a losing decision at the tough way tonight by getting very little run support. And Roberto Gomez, he actually had a good outing out of the pen tonight. 2 scoreless innings, 3 hits. He got out of trouble. And 11.25, that ERA looks a lot better than that 36 ERA he was sporting a couple days ago. But I think he's going to be the odd man out as of tomorrow. I think it's probably going to be on his way back to Sacramento to make room for our recent call up since they're going to need a fifth starter. And yes, Giants fans, the long awaited debut of Tyler Beede. The Giants are calling up Tyler Beede to spot start possibly Wednesday's game. So it'll be interesting to see how the rookie handles the majors. It kind of worries me a bit. He didn't have exactly the best of spring training. He was okay in single A the other night. He was wild to start the game. Then he definitely settled down after that. But also, Beede missed half of last season of AAA with an injury, and I don't know if this is the right thing, the right call up. I question it sort of. I'm gonna get some water. Get a second. If there's any saving grace for Tyler Beede, is that he's not going to have to face Jake Lamb, but Goldschmidt, Pollock. There are certainly players that could possibly take advantage of a rookie pitcher on Wednesday afternoon, and it could get really interesting to see how he does. But he did not have the greatest of spring training, and I'm really worried about the walk rate and stuff, but it might only be one start because we do have good news on the injury front. So maybe B is just going to be a bridge starter for the time being. Certainly that could be, and that wouldn't be too bad if he's just a bridge. As we did get good news out of Jeff Samardzija, he's ready to take a rehab assignment. And I think Shark's gonna look it up here a second. Okay, he will go. He did pitch 3 innings in an extended spring training game on Monday. Tossed 45 pitches. And now he will go to one minor league game, so he could get. So I think he will go to Sacramento in the coming days for a rehab start. And if all goes well, he'll probably rejoin the rotation on the next road trip. So that's really good news, getting Samardzija back. And that's definitely a shot in the arm the starting rotation needs at this point. And then also we have some good news regarding reliever Will Smith, who's recovering from Tommy John surgery from last year. Will Smith threw an extended spring training. He threw 13 pitches. And it looks like the good news, it looks like May 1st, we might have a return of Will Smith. And that could be a really good thing for the bullpen. With Osich pitching as good as he has been out of the pen and Watson doing well, it could be a beautiful thing having 3 lefties out of the Giants bullpen this year. Whereas last year you had the O boys struggling as being the only lefties out of the pen. And I think Osich is pitching with a lot more confidence this year, or this early on in the season. And certainly you could see Osich get moved to more of a lefty specialist role, which, it may not hurt. Maybe he only pitches 1/3 of an inning or so, and he only faces lefties. I think you could see Osich go to the lefty specialist role once Will Smith returns, and then Bochy could be a mad scientist in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. But yeah, Will Smith, he looks good. We'll see if he can. I think he will go on a rehab assignment in the coming days, and certainly it would be nice for him to get back up with the Giants here before on May 1st. That would be really welcome news regarding that. Now let's go on to tomorrow's game. But tomorrow is going to be is sort of a must-win game this early on in the season for the Giants. I certainly don't think this is a series. I really don't think the Giants want to go down 2-0 to the Dbacks on this series. And certainly then you go to San Diego, and granted, San Diego is not great, but they always tend to be a thorn in the Giants' side anytime they play each other. So you can never count out what San Diego is going to do in a series. So I certainly think you can't underestimate the Friars, and they always manage to play their best baseball against the Giants. And then after that, they go to Chase for, I think, a 3-game series against the Dbacks. So they cannot get too far behind the 8 ball here going into May. It will determine where the Giants' fate will be going into May. And like right now, 4 and 5 is okay. They just need to stay relatively close to 500, certainly. But they definitely I think Cueto needs a good outing. So it looks like Cueto is going to start tomorrow, which means we will see Tyler Beede make his major league debut on Wednesday's game against Robbie Ray. So that's a real possibility as we see Beede make his Giants debut on Wednesday against Ray. But no, they need another good outing out of Johnny Cueto tomorrow night, and the Bats need to get going tomorrow night. They need to get some runs in, score some runs, try to get to Patrick Corbin. Corbin's been tough as nails this early in the season. His ERA is 1. And also, just got to give it to the D-backs at this point. This team's no fluke. I thought this team would drop off a bit this season, and so far this early in the season, that's not looking like it's looking far from the truth. The pitching looks better this year than it was last year, and Corbin looks like he's looking like an ace this year. So certainly there's going to be no shame in losing a series to the D-backs. And the D-backs certainly are playing like an NL West contender this year, especially with the Dodgers getting off to a slow start and Colorado hovering around 500. So, and Arizona is just looking like the team that says, "Hey, we're in it to the finish." Last year was not a fluke. We're here for the long haul. So that Luvolo is a really good manager, and they're doing it without JD Martinez, who went to Boston, and they're winning games without Jake Lamb, who's on the disabled list, and it's their pitching. They've definitely got some good pitching in Arizona this year. T1 Walker is no fluke. This team is really no fluke. It's a lot of homegrown talent. But tomorrow, though, it's imperative for the Giants to find a way to get to the pitching and try to find a way to rattle off a win tomorrow. But as I say, you got the Friars, who, yeah, they're not great, but they always find a way to beat the Giants. That's just how the Padres are, and going in for Ford of Petco is not a guarantee. You could end up leaving Petco and really start finding yourselves behind the 8 ball if you're not careful. Now I'm going to take a look at tonight's attendance. I didn't think it was a sellout. I'm going to take a look at it here. No, tonight's game was definitely not a sellout. It was 36,997. So this was the first non-sellout of the year for the Giants, so to say. And that's another reason why the Giants can't get too far behind the 8 ball either. Attendance is gonna suffer this year if they start losing, and you might see attendance hit lows it hasn't hit before 2010, certainly. And attendance is on the decline. Ticket prices went up this year, so this doesn't exactly bode well. So the fans they're starting to lose fans at the gate. Ticket sales are looking down this year. They need to find ways to get some wins and find ways to tread water until Bumgarner returns and Samardzija. The Samardzija returning in a week or so is going to be really good news, and hopefully that comes to fruition. But yeah, the attendance was 36,000. This was not a sellout by any stretch of the imagination, and that also tells me they may have a tough time. Attendance may continue to suffer if the Giants continue to struggle. And that also means that Longoria needs to get his bat going. But they just need to find ways to. But it's too early to start maybe getting too worried about attendance. But we've already had our first non-sellout, so that tells you where the fans feel about this season already. That the sellouts are not coming. The sellouts are gone. All right, let's do the MLB Roundup for tonight. And yes, tonight the Tampa Bay Rays finally get their second win of the season as they beat the Chicago White Sox 5-4. Your winning pitcher, Chris Archer, who actually looked like a half decent pitcher in this outing and not the Archer we saw the first 2 starts of the season. Archer, 3 runs, 5 2/3, 8 strikeouts, passable. And that 5.94 ERA is a little better. And your losing pitcher for tonight is Miguel Gonzalez. He goes 4 1/3, gives up 4 earned, 8 hits. Juan Moncada goes 2 for 3 in the game for the White Sox. And the Indians get back to 500 by blanking the Tigers 2-0. Your winning pitcher, Corey Kluber. Your losing pitcher, Francisco Linario. Francisco Liriano, excuse me. And not a lot of hitting in this game. Only 2 measly stinking hits by the Tigers and 4 hits by the Indians. And it was a home run by Bradley Zimmer that made the difference for the game tonight. And Kluber, 13 strikeouts in 8 innings pitched tonight. Really good outing from him. Francisco Liriano, tough luck loser. 2 earned in 6 innings pitched. The only real blemish was the 3 walks tonight and the 2 earned. The Brewers beat the Cardinals 5-4. Your winning pitcher, Matt Albers. Your losing pitcher, Greg Holland. Already blown a save for the Cardinals this season thus far. And not a great outing out of Yoelish Chassin. 4 2/3 innings pitched. 3 earned runs and 3 walks, so not exactly a great outing out of Chassin. But the bullpen was able to tread water for the Brewers. And Eric Sogard, 3 for 4 for the Brewers in this game. And the Blue Jays clobbered the Orioles 7-1. Your winning pitcher, J.A. Happ. Your losing pitcher, Dylan Bundy. Trey Mancini goes 3 for 4 for the Orioles tonight. And Manny Machado already hits his 3rd home run of the season for Baltimore as his trade value continues to rise at this point. And Happ, what an outing out of Happ tonight. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. Bundy, a hard luck loser in this game, 2 earned runs and 7 innings pitched, 10 Ks. Definitely deserved better out of the bullpen too. The bullpen was awful tonight for the Orioles. Michael Gibbons, 3 earned runs and 1 2/3 innings pitched. Nestor Cortez Jr., 2 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched. And the Nationals blanked the Braves 2-0. Your winning pitcher, Max Scherzer. Your losing pitcher, Julio Teheran. And believe it or not, Max Scherzer had a stolen base in this game. Crazy but true. Max Scherzer steals second. But Michael Taylor was picked off. It's not every day you see a pitcher steal a base. That is just craziness. And Tehran, a tough luck loser tonight. 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. And Scherzer, complete game shutout, 2-hit shutout, 10 strikeouts as the Nationals get back on track. The Phillies beat the Reds 6-5. Your winning pitcher, Luis Garcia. Your losing pitcher, Kevin Quackenbush. And Philly was definitely hitting the long ball tonight with home runs off of Rhys Hoskins, the 2-run bomb. You had Scott Kingery with a home run and Nick Williams with a pinch hit home run in this game. Ben Lively, 5 earned runs and 5 2/3 innings pitched. Cody Reed, 5 runs, 3 earned, and 3 innings pitched. The Mets beat the Marlins 4-2 and now are 8-1 in the start of the season. And your winning pitcher, Thor, Noah Syndergaard. Your losing pitcher, Jose Urena. Derek Dietrich, 3 for 4 for the Marlins today. And Thor, 6 innings strong, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 Ks. And Urena, 3 earned, 4 Ks, and 5 innings pitched. The Angels beat the Rangers 8-3. Your winning pitcher, Jose Alvarez. Your losing pitcher, Doug Fister. And Joey Gallo going 2 for 4. He's looking like a keeper in the if his average can get up a little bit more, he can definitely can stay in the majors long term. Elvis Andrus with the home run. Martin Maldonado 2 for 3 for the Angels tonight. And Albert Pujols gets a bomb tonight, going 2 for 5. And the Astros blank the Twins 2-0. Your winning pitcher, Justin Verlander. Your losing pitcher, Taylor Rogers. Jason Castro goes 2 for 3 for the Twins. And Verlander, 7 innings strong tonight, 9 strikeouts. Lance Lynn, good outing out of him, 5 innings strong, no runs allowed, 9 Ks. The only real downside was the 4 walks by Lynn, but the bullpen wasn't able to hold on the game for Lynn tonight. And the Royals blank the Mariners 10-0. Your winning pitcher, Jacob Junis. Your losing pitcher, Marco Gonzalez. Mike Moustakas, 3 for 5 for Kansas City. Jorge Soler, 2 for 3. And Moustakas hits his first home run of the season for the Royals. And not a wonderful night for Marco Gonzalez. 2 1/3 innings, 4 earned runs allowed. It was even worse out of the bullpen. Casey Lawrence comes in, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. And he hits a batter, Butera. And there was definitely a lot of hit by pitches in this one. Junis hit 3 batters, Vogelbach, Robinson Cano, and Heredia. So there was certainly a bit of a beanball war in this game. I don't know if the warnings were issued or not in this game. And the Padres beat the Rockies 7-6. Your winning pitcher, Clayton Richard. Your losing pitcher, John Gray. Jose Perella, 3 for 5 for the Friars tonight. Austin Hedges, 3 for 4 for the Friars. And John Gray, not a good night. 7 earned runs and 5 innings pitched. And pitching has become an issue for the Rockies this early on in the season. That's a little bit of a red flag. Clayton Richard gets the win, 4 earned runs and 5 innings pitched. 3 walks is the only real concern. And former Rocky Jordan Lyles, 2 earned runs and 1 inning pitched. And another game postponed by Mother Nature tonight. The Cubs and Pirates postponed, I think, due to snow. Yep, another snow day. Crazy think. As Mother Nature continues to wreak havoc on America with snow. Now let's go down on the farm and see how the River Cats have done tonight. And in a doubleheader game, first game of the doubleheader tonight for the River Cats. The River Cats win the first part of the doubleheader 3-2, beating the Rainiers 3-2 after making up yesterday's rainout. And Steven Duggar actually gets 2 hits in that game, so he's looking a little bit more like the prospect. Duggar 2 for 4. His average is now up to $1.88. And then Trevor Brown 1 for 3. Chris Heston goes 3 1/3. EJ Snelton 2 walks, 2 1/3 innings pitch, gets the win. And Derek Law allows his first earned run of the season for the River Cats as they pick up the win. And in the second game of the doubleheader, the River Cats currently lead the Rainiers 6-5 in the top of the 7th inning. And in AAA doubleheaders, they only go 7 innings unless the game is tied. And the rule now for PCL baseball in extra innings is that a runner goes on second base. So that's a rule change this year for PCL baseball is now that a runner starts at second base after in extra innings. And Hector Sanchez 2 for 3 in this game tonight. And Mac Williamson continues to swing a hot bat, going 3 for 4, and currently is hitting .636 in Sacramento. After what happened to him last year, this is just great sign out of Williamson. At some point this year, he's going to be up with the Giants if he just keeps swinging that hot bat. This is definitely looking like the prospect we were looking to get out of Mac Williamson. And Derek Rodriguez starts the game, gives up 4 earned, 3 strikeouts. Madison Younginer in the game right now. 2 1/3 innings, 1 earned run. And this Friday show is going to be a bit more PCL heavy, as I am going to be going out to Chancey Park Friday night for the Fresno Grizzlies, since it's not too far from my house. And they did used to be the Giants affiliate until 2015. And the Fresno Grizzlies tonight beat the Reno Aces 5-2. And Tim Fedorovich, former Giant Tim Fedorovich, 2 for 3 for the Grizzlies. And Kent Emanuel, 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched for the Grizzlies. Not a good night for Andrew Thome, 4 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched. But it was not a good night for Jake Buchanan, 5 earned in 4 innings pitched. Tyler Pill, 2 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. Neftali Feliz, 2 earned runs in 1 inning pitched. And Jimmy Sherfy, 2 earned runs in 1 inning pitched. That will conclude tonight's show. Tomorrow night, it will be Johnny Cueto against Patrick Corbin. Should be a really good pitchers duel tomorrow night at AT&T Park. This is certainly a game where the Giants need to capitalize and get on Patrick Corbin early, make him feel uncomfortable, and find a way to get a win. And certainly, hopefully this year on this channel, I'm certainly going to try to emphasize more on the minors this year. And I'm hoping maybe to do a live podcast from downtown Fresno later this year. And as I said, Friday's show is going to be a bit of a PCL heavy show. It'll be more of a River Cats roundup than a Giants roundup Friday, so be prepared for that. Everybody have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow night after the Giants game. Get some rest and have a good night. Peace.